Would you put your hand on a device that reveals how many fruits and vegetables you've eaten in the past 2 months? Well, the device is called the S3 biophotonic scanner, and it works because after digestion, carotenoids or antioxidants settle in the palm of your hand, and the device reads that number from your palm. A lot of us took the test today at News Channel 11, and every one of us scored in the weak category, even though we all thought we eat healthy and would score high. That's why we all took the test. The problem for most people, according to Dr. Kathy Chauncey, a professor of nutrition at Texas Tech, is that it's not enough to eat a few favorite fruits and veggies regularly because the body needs variety.
You get nutrients from a variety of foods, and the bigger your variety, the better your nutrition is. And when you look at these foods and all the colors, this has to do with plant chemicals. This is what helps us fight disease. You should have some of those colors in at least one meal every day.
Dr. Chauncey says studies at the Health Sciences Center are showing that cancer survivors in particular can use this device to learn more about what they are eating now and how to improve their nutritional score and in turn improve their odds in fighting or preventing cancer. And if you'd like to take the test and learn more about your nutritional score, contact the Family Medicine Department at the Texas Tech Health Sciences.
It's the disease that you fear most, cancer. And your ability to fight it lies in one of the biggest buzzwords in health: antioxidants. Today, we're fighting the war on cancer with prevention, antioxidant prevention. And I'm sharing my cancer-fighting antioxidant all-stars, the 3 most important ones you need to help you prevent cancer. Do you have enough? That's why our audience is wearing these different colored ultimate nutritional lie detector tests. This revolutionary device, it's lying right here next to me, measures the level of carotenoids in your skin. If you look at this is how it's supposed to be read out, by the way. We've got lowest to highest, 10,000 up to 50,000 units, right? These figures give us a rough idea. You want to be up here in the blues. Now, let's see how you did. Are you ready? I don't want to see any reds, any oranges. Let's see the numbers for the audience. You're all down here. You're a cross-section of everyone watching the show right now. Let me just go through these because it completely blew my mind. We have almost 40% of the audience in the lowest category possible. I actually didn't think we'd find anybody there. Not naively thought that at least we're getting enough of these antioxidants into our bodies, they wouldn't be there. Another 40% had the orange category, which is still, to me, a dangerously low level. And we only had a total of about 6% having greens and blues. Put your hands up if you're greens and blues. Let me just see you. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah. So the question then becomes, why is it they're having these problems? And it's not surprising because we're getting on average about 2 to 3 servings of fruit per day and vegetables. It's not enough. And we know that. What do we talk about? 5, 7, 9, big numbers of servings.
This is WPBF 25 News at 5.
What if you could predict your risk for cancer, heart disease, or diabetes, and then prevent yourself from getting sick? A revolutionary machine, the biophotonic scanner, measures the future health of your cells. As Shelley Lockhart shows you, it's like a report card for your diet.
That measurement is going to give you risk factors for macular degeneration, cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It can put you on notice that changes need to be made in not only maybe your supplements, but how you eat, how you exercise, and above all, change your lifestyle if you're smoking.
If your skin carotenoid score is less than 40,000, you are not adequately protected against the free radicals that are constantly attacking your body. Ideally, you want to score over 50,000. Dr. Oz recently explained how antioxidants protect your cells from damage.
But you got to have the antioxidant back up to come in there and defend you. So go ahead, knock out, try to take it away. Yeah, go on, one more time. Try to get at it. She's hard.
Michelle Bacon tested average 2 years ago.
My mindset was I'm young, I'm in good shape, I'm healthy, I don't need to worry about nutrition and this and that, and the score kind of set me back a little bit.
Michelle changed her diet and started taking vitamins that contain antioxidants.
59. High five. We're in the blue zone.
All right. A report card, she says, gives her peace of mind. Shelley Lockhart, WPBF 25 News.
Now, Dr. Oz recommends ramping up your intake of fruits and vegetables from 5 to 10 a day to change your level of antioxidants. Dr. Feld says supplements that contain antioxidants can also change your score.
So please help me welcome Dr. Stephen Moore.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much for that warm introduction. And it's great to be here with everybody. I first learned about this incredible technology back when I had graduated from chiropractic school. I was originally studying to be an orthopedic surgeon, got pretty fed up with medicine, focusing more on health issues after, people have had the problems. And I wanted to take a more proactive approach to keep people healthy. And so when I was going through chiropractic school, one of the things that I noticed was a lot of people were taking supplements to try to improve their health, to try to be proactive. And I wanted to help people make better decisions on what supplements they should take, right? Because that's the big question. We know a lot of people take supplements, but which one should you take? And as I was opening up accounts with a lot of the different major supplement companies, a lot of them only sold through doctor's offices, my question was, well, which ones do I recommend? And how do I really know if it's working? What company can I trust? And so I wanted to learn a little bit more about who this company is. And is this something that if I'm going to do this seriously, is this a company that I can trust? Is this a company that's going to make good decisions? Is this a company that's going to be around in 5 years, 10 years, 30 years to continue to pay these recurring revenue streams that if I was willing to do this? And when I started to look at Nu Skin, this building here didn't exist at the time. This was an expansion that they did. But today now, Nu Skin has been in business for 40 years. They have a very solid track record. They've got the highest financial rating by Dun & Bradstreet. It means they're a very stable company. Less than 1% of companies on the New York Stock Exchange have that high of a rating. They're operating in over 40 markets, right? It's an international opportunity. They've got over $1 billion in assets. Over $60 million is being invested annually in R&D that I don't need to invest, that you don't need to invest in. See, all we have to do is attach ourselves to a company that's doing the right things and moving in the right direction, that's in front of the trends, that has the right compensation plan. And as we talk to people, as we connect customers and affiliates to the company, we get paid on those transactions without having to have inventory, without having to have any employees. Nu Skin's also a publicly traded company. And so one of the things I did is I looked at their annual report to see if they were telling me the truth. Everything can be verified when you've got a publicly traded company. And they've also been listed as a Forbes 5th most trustworthy company. So we're not dealing with a brand new company on the ground floor where you really have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, I've learned over the years that most of the ground floor opportunities with new companies never really get off the ground floor. And if they do, they typically don't last very long because there's just too much risk in the beginning. And when I was looking to do this as a career, instead of going into practice, right, I became the first doctor in my family, studying 9 years of my life, investing a couple $100,000 in my education, had a great job lined up in New York. I wanted to make sure that if I was really going to commit to this leverage business vehicle with Nu Skin, that this company was going to be around to continue to pay me and reward me for the work that I did. And for 21 years, they have now continued to do this. I decided to do this against my parents' will because I wanted leverage. And I knew that I would never have leverage as a doctor. And so I ended up pursuing Nu Skin as a full-time business. And it's been extremely rewarding being able to work from home, being able to travel, being able to spend time with my family that I would not have been able to do had I gone and practiced full-time. So a little bit about the background of the company, which, being a doctor, I wanted to know who is behind the curtain of this supplement company. Nu Skin ended up buying Pharmanex, which was the leading research engine in the supplement space. Pharmanex was started by 3 of the top drug discovery scientists. And so right there, you have a much different startup than you typically see from the supplement companies. I mean, if you wanted to start a supplement company today, within 2 weeks, you could probably have your own brand, private labeled, no research, no validation, but you could start to market it. And that's what a lot of companies unfortunately do in the supplement space is they white label something, they have somebody else make it, they throw a bunch of marketing at it, but they really don't have great science behind the products. And I wanted to know that if I'm going to get behind a product, I need to have the scientific validation that what I'm going to recommend people do is going to have scientific integrity. And so these 3 scientists behind Pharmanex, this was something that I didn't see anywhere else in any of the other supplement brands. For example, Michael Chang was the former director of medicinal chemistry at Merck. And Carl Djerassi invented the birth control pill. And their role in pharma was really drug discovery. They were experts at looking in nature to identify compounds that could be used for new medicine. And what they had realized over their careers was that these natural compounds were usually more effective without the side effects of the drugs that were being made from their discoveries. And what they wanted to do is really take the standards of the pharmaceutical industry, but really apply it to nutraceutical development for the first time. And they were the first company to be able to do it. And they are still, in my opinion, by far the leader of this space. They currently have over 70 full-time scientists. They publish research. They have exclusive products that you can't get anywhere else, protected by multiple patents. I mean, this is a company that continues to push the envelope of science, but also they're always making sure what they're producing is not only substantiated, but is also safe. They back up every single claim that they make. And in 21 years, not once have I ever been embarrassed by any of the products that this company has produced. We're going to talk about some things here tonight and some products and some of the things that are unique about this company that you won't find anywhere else. One of the leading scientists at Pharmanex is Joe Chang, who's become a dear friend of mine. I remember the first time I was at the corporate headquarters of this billion-dollar company at 27 years old, and we took a tour of the building, and we go up to the executive floor. And one of the things that I just took notice was all of the doors to the executive offices, they were all open. They had this open door policy, and we walked by Joe Chang's office. The door was open. He waved us to come in, and we sat down and had an intimate conversation with them. It felt like a family-run business. And over the years, Joe and I have become good friends. We've done a lot of calls together, and he's just an absolutely brilliant scientist. And one of the things that he developed along with his colleagues was a quality control process called the 6S process that you will not find anywhere else with any other supplement company. And it actually is what has set the standards for a lot of the GMP, which are the good manufacturing protocols that are now used by other companies throughout the industry. And this quality control process is really the strength behind what Pharmanex does. And it's not the sexiest thing for people, but this is why Pharmanex can produce such quality products that work and that are safe, because they have a way to standardize things. And this process was a similar process that was used in the pharmaceutical industry. They've now expanded quite a bit since they were acquired by Nu Skin. These are the corporate buildings of Nu Skin and Pharmanex now. They own major labs, and they do everything, a lot of their research in-house, and they've got multiple labs around the world, and it's just been a great company to work with. They do a lot of great things too around the world, and one of the initiatives is called Nourish the Children, where they have fed over 850 million meals to starving kids around the world. This is a product that they develop that it doesn't just give children the calories, but it also gives them the micronutrients to be able to thrive. And they developed this with UC Davis to develop a product that wouldn't bloat these children and just give them these empty calories. And it's really made a big difference around the world. We're headed to 1 billion meals sold, and it's something that all of us can participate in. So let's jump into the products and the science and some of the innovation that really create the opportunity that we have here within the company. The biophotonic scanner is a technology that I have been utilizing now for 21 years. This is the 3rd generation unit, and it's had multiple versions over the years. It continues to get faster, smaller, and more validated. But when I first looked at this technology, one of the questions I asked was, great, another gadget that some company made to sell their stuff, right? And as I dug deeper into the biophotonic scanner and the origin of it, I had realized that it actually was not developed or funded by Pharmanex. It was actually funded by the National Institute of Health, originally to screen for risk factors of eye disease, looking at these carotenoid antioxidants in the eye. Pharmanex later acquired it, invested over $100 million to bring it to market, to commercialize it. And the current version of the device, which is the S3, can now do it in 30 seconds. The original device used to be the size of a small room. So it's amazing the commitment that Nu Skin and Pharmanex has made to bring this technology to market, to make it easily accessible to people. And in my opinion, and many of the other doctors that I work with, this is one of the most significant health biomarkers that anyone can know. And it's also something that you can be empowered to improve relatively easily. Diet and lifestyle are the biggest causes of poor health, or poor diet and poor lifestyle are the biggest problems we have that equate to poor health. And this technology is a technology that can create the awareness and empower people to make changes, both with their diet, but also to take supplements, because a lot of people are not taking enough nutrients from their diet. In fact, we've done about 26 million scans with this technology around the world. And we find there's a typo on here. 94% of the people that get tested essentially fail. They score relatively low. And there's a lot of need for improvement when it comes to knowing your antioxidant levels and improving that antioxidant protection at a cellular level. What's nice about this device is not only can we give people a score, but we can provide a clinically valid solution through several supplements to help people improve their score and to be able to track their progress for the first time. So we can give someone a score relatively quickly, and we can fix it within a couple months or so. And there's no other company in the world that can do that. And things are going into the scanner that we have today has made a huge impact. Where it's going is going to make it even more accessible. And so now we're basically pre-launching the next version of the device. We already know the track record of what the current version has been able to do, what not only the impact that it's made in the scientific world, the impact that it's made in creating awareness around nutrition, the business and the sales that it's created in nutritional supplements from Pharmanex and the retention of that business. But now with this next version, it's going to really unlock the true potential of what this technology can do. So this new Prysm device will really allow us to bring this technology to more people. You can see the evolution of the scanner from the S1 to the S2 to the S3. And this new technology, we now have over 20 years of understanding on how this technology works in the field, not just as a clinical measurement, but also on how it impacts the business. And this new device and the software behind it is going to remove the friction and to really be able to reach millions and hopefully 1 billion people around the world to really address the biggest cause of poor health. And what it does is it fixes the confusion, right? In 30 seconds with the new device, it'll be 15 seconds. We can give someone a measurement of where they are. We can cut through all of the marketing hoopla of all the other companies and really just look at measurement, right? If we are not measuring things, we have no idea if it's working. And I have tested a lot of people taking products that claim to have great science, great products, but when we actually test them, they actually do a pretty poor job at improving this score. And so there's this gap that we can now measure and we can now fill, and we can now avoid this confusion because we really believe that people should know if their supplements are working, that if they're going to invest money, that they need to take things that are effective, that is safe. And the only way to really know is if you can measure it. And so 3 out of 4 people are currently taking supplements. It is not that hard to find someone taking supplements. And if you simply just ask people, do you take supplements? Most people will say yes. Are they working? Most people will say, I don't know. And that's where the opportunity comes in to help those people. And many of you on the call here tonight may be already taking supplements and you've been wondering, are they working? Well, Pharmanex is the only company that can non-invasively tell you how well your supplements are working and give you a solution to improve it. And there's been a tremendous amount of validation behind the technology, which I didn't have when I started with the company. We were looking at some of the original white papers at the University of Utah where it was invented. We are looking at some of the patents. We are looking at some of the studies that Yale University was starting to do, and it looked very promising. But over the last 20 years, this technology has received a tremendous amount of accolades. There have been studies published with Stanford, Yale. Pharmanex was the most innovative company in the United States, along with Apple Computer by the American Business Awards. It's been all over the media. Lots of recognition around this technology. So there's no doubt around what this technology can do. We know where the next version is, what this next version is going to be able to do. And it's just a matter of who's going to participate with us. The PharmaNex products are the only products that are clinically proven to improve the score. LifePak is a product that I take every day. My wife takes every day. My son takes every single day, because we know that no matter how good we eat, a lot of these nutrients are in our soil. They're not in our food. And I think we could all use a little bit of extra insurance when it comes to our nutrition to manage our micronutrients and our oxidative stress in our body. Because I want to feel that I am doing everything I can for myself, my family, and the people around me to maintain better health and better health span for as long as we live. That we can no longer be reactive to poor health. We need to be proactive if we want to have a good quality of life. And LifePak takes the question mark out of it. It has 7 formulas that are built into one. So it saves me time, it saves me money, and I know it's working because I can measure it. In addition to LifePak being a foundational formula, PharmaNex has other products that can meet the needs of other people, including their beauty focused product. A lot of people are taking collagen, and the majority of collagen products, they don't have any studies to substantiate whether or not their product is working. PharmaNex was the first company to actually publish a clinical study on a collagen peptide. And it's a product called Beauty Focus that is not only improves collagen and elastin and improves skin health, but it also improves the scanner score because it has these important carotenoid antioxidants that not only protect the cells inside the body, but they actually protect your skin too. And when you build the collagen elastin, you want to make sure that you can protect it from being damaged from the sun. And so this is the first formula, the first collagen formula that I've seen that actually has carotenoids in there to not just be able to build up collagen, but to be able to protect it and keep it in the skin as well. PharmaNex and Nu Skin are also able to target the sources of aging. So rather than just treating the signs and symptoms of aging, right, they're able to now target the sources of aging through a technology and scientific platform called ageLOC. Now, ageLOC is the ability to identify the genes that are related to aging and then to develop products and formulations with extreme precision to be able to reset the way those genes function to how it was when you were younger, right? So you think about it, when you're young, you sprain your ankle, you cut yourself, everything heals up pretty quickly. You have lots of energy. You can stay up late. You can bounce back because all your genes are in tune. They're all functioning well. Your body's regenerating. Your metabolism's working great. Everything in your brain, your body's ability to produce energy, all that stuff works really great when you're young. But as you get older, your genes essentially get out of tune, very similar to an instrument getting out of tune. You can have the best piano, but you have to tune it periodically or it's not going to sound very good. And the same thing happens with your genes. They get out of tune when you get older. And so we used to think that aging was inevitable, that there's really nothing that we can do to address it. And that was how my grandparents lived, right? They never thought that you could impact your aging. You just figured that, hey, if we end up with an issue, we'll go see a doctor and we'll do the best that we can. But now what we understand is that there are things that you can do today that can significantly impact the way that your body is aging. And PharmaNex and Nu Skin were actually featured in a documentary on the Discovery Channel for this major discovery through an acquisition that they made of a leading genetics company. And so what they've been able to do is to take their decades of product development and science and now apply it to gene expression. And what you can do with this new gene technology is you can measure aging at a genetic level. On the left here, you can see a young DNA map, and on the right, you can see what happens when you get older. Some of these genes will express themselves more when you get older. So think of that instrument getting out of tune, but going on the high side. And then some genes will actually downregulate or lower their expression when you get older. The key is not to just address one gene. There's no one gene that controls aging. If anyone has told you that we found the gene for aging, they are not telling you the truth. Aging happens throughout thousands of genes within the body. And the key is to figure out what those genes are and then how to reset those genes or retune them to how it was when you were younger. And age-lock is the only technology in the world that can do this. And this is exclusive to Nu Skin and Pharmanex. So not only have they been able to do this in genetic chips, but now they've been able to do it in human brains using really advanced brain imaging where you can see improvements in brain function. You can demonstrate that this product is working in someone's body by measuring their antioxidant levels with the biophotonic scanner. And there's also studies that have been done in the lab showing improvements in glutathione and some other important nutrients that are within the brain, these neurotransmitters called glutamate and glutamine. And so again, being proactive with your health, being proactive with aging, you can make an impact. The challenge with this space is a lot of companies make claims, but they don't have any science to substantiate their claims, or they reference a study to try to substantiate their products. What I love about Pharmanex and Nu Skin is they actually do studies on their products to substantiate their products. And they do it better than any other company that I've seen out there. Now, we talked a little bit about the importance of measuring. You know, we've had a lot of things in healthcare that we measure, whether it's cholesterol or blood pressure or blood glucose monitoring. People they want to know how they're doing. Like, what is your weight? What is your body composition? How are we sleeping with these Oura rings? Data allows people to make better decisions about their health. The challenge with a lot of these other health biomarkers that are out there is they give people data, but they don't necessarily give people solutions of what they can do to improve those markers. And so one of the great things that I love about Pharmanex and what they're doing with the biophotonic scanner and some other technologies that are in development is not only can they identify the issues of where you can improve, but then they develop products that can help you improve. For example, when you get your baseline score with the biophotonic scanner, whatever that number is, in this example, it's 25,000. My number was 31,000. So I didn't do as well as I thought I was going to. And that made me think about what can I do to improve it. So I took their challenge to try their supplements because they had studies to support it. And within a month or two, I started to see an improvement in my score. And my score continued to go up for about 4 to 5 months. It has been as high as 90,000 on the device, but it's usually around 65,000 unless I'm doing some juicing or on like a really strict diet. Now, over the last 21 years, I have seen this happen with thousands of people. It is a very predictable result that when someone gets scanned by the biophotonic scanner and takes a Pharmanex certified product, that their score will improve within 2 months, and their score will continue to improve for about 4 to 5 months. It happens every single time. And so we've got products that are very reliable, that are very effective. In fact, Pharmanex will also give people a guarantee that if your score doesn't improve within 2 months, they'll give you your money back. Not just based on how you feel, but based on measurement. A lot of the things that are happening in your body, you do not feel. That's why we need to measure things. We need to look inside the body to see what's happening. The biophotonic scanner allows you to measure essentially the molecular protection or the antioxidant molecules that are in every cell in the body performing a shield to protect your cells. If you don't have enough of these, you're subjecting yourself to preventable damage that is happening every single day, that over time it accumulates, and that leads to poor health, that leads to wrinkles, that leads to mental issues. There are a lot of problems that happen when free radical damage accumulates. And this damage is preventable through improving your antioxidant protection. And there's no better time to start than now. These are some of the products that Pharmanex have that carry the certification, meaning that they have clinically studied every single product within this image here, that it'll improve your antioxidant score within 2 months or your money back. I don't have time to go into all the products here, but these are products that we take all of these products in our household. So we need to measure things, right? And this new device that can now fit in your pocket, I mean, if you can see me, I'm holding up a hockey puck. It's actually a little bit smaller than a hockey puck. If you think about it, the original scanner was about the size of an MRI machine, and now it can fit in the palm of your hand, or I should say soon it will fit within the palm of your hand. And this new version is powered by AI and machine learning. So it's actually been teaching itself not only how to scan more effectively and more accurately, but it's also learning how to measure other things within the body. And so once you get this device, imagine that you have this device, and then as they do more research, imagine being able to measure new things in the body. Imagine your customers being able to measure new things the longer this thing is in the marketplace. And those updates just get pushed as a firmware update, very, very similar to how Tesla will push an update to the cars, or Apple will push new features to the phone. All the technology and sensors are in this device. And as they get more data and do more research, they'll be able to make these devices even more useful through these firmware updates. It is very exciting, and the possibilities of this technology are endless. And when you're looking at a supplement business just in the United States of 60 billion, and that's just the US, and around the world, think of how big that market is as we roll these out into 40 countries. The compensation plan that Nu Skin has put together has paid people pretty well. When I got involved with this, my goal was to just pay for my apartment and make some side money. But when I looked at what the average income of a Blue Diamond was, that was more than most doctors make that I know. And yes, there's about a little bit more than 3% of the brand representatives that achieve that level. But I said, I can be part of that 3%. You know, if the company and the leaders are willing to teach me, I've got enough burning desire. I'm willing to work. I'm willing to be coachable. And if you're willing to do the same thing, if you're willing to walk in the footsteps and put in the effort to reach your goals, there's really nothing that can stop you other than your self-limiting beliefs. This is a very exciting time because we've got an established technology that is going through a major innovation, which is going to allow us to reach the masses. For the first 20 years, we were able to reach 26 million people. Imagine how many people we're going to be able to reach when this can fit in your pocket, and it's a fraction of the cost of the current device here. And so this is a really great time to get involved, to get positioned in front of the wave of this next version coming out. We have about 5,000 of the current biophotonic scanners in the marketplace around the world. I set a goal to put 25,000 of them out in the US because I thought that if we could put 25,000 of them out there, that we could reach the majority of the people in the US. But with this new Prysm device, we think we could put hundreds of thousands of them out there and make it even easier to reach more people and to get people monitored on a regular basis. And the ability to expand this new device internationally is opening up so much more potential to what we can do. One of the other markets and other opportunities within Nu Skin is not just positioning in front of the Prysm device, but also positioning in front of a new market. And if you look at a lot of the leaders within the company that have positioned in front of new markets, they have done extremely well. I participated in a couple country openings, one of which is Colombia, and we've done very well. And we've had people on our team that have done very well introducing these products into new countries. Now, Colombia is a very, very small market. India will be a huge market. We're anticipating $1 billion market. And so, you know, I didn't know anybody in Colombia, but one of the things that I learned from a mentor of mine, Nathan Ricks, and he says, you don't need to speak Spanish. You don't need to know people in Colombia. You don't need to go to Colombia. Find people locally that are from Colombia or have ties to Colombia and bring them into the business and work with them and teach them how to expand into their country. And so we just started asking people around, do you know anybody from Colombia? And one of the doctors that I work with had a friend by the name of Eduardo Rodriguez, and he was committed to building into Colombia. And he's done an incredible job building a team down in Colombia. Right now, we're asking people, who do you know that's of Indian descent or has connections to the Indian community? Because never underestimate the power that one leader and what one leader can do. You look at a lot of the biggest companies here in the US and around the world, you think of the impact that one person has had in a market, whether it was Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or other leaders, right? One person can make significant impacts. And you may stumble across someone that really wants to grow some business in India. All you have to do is start asking people you know, who do you know that's a business person or has ties to the Indian community? And that can set up a huge business for you. So the other thing that's happening is, as well, is that Nu Skin's been investing over several $100 million in driving personalization to the market. And so they are now merging everything from the data collected from the biophotonic scanner and new technologies and testing devices and biometrics that are going to come into this ecosystem. They're using mobile platforms. They're looking at purchasing trends, being able to predict what your customers are going to want to buy and when they want to buy it, right? Amazon does that. Well, that technology is coming into the Nu Skin ecosystem. The world is connected through social media. They've built some incredible tools to make that much more efficient. And you've got this global infrastructure. Nu Skin has created a global business. And so it is just as easy to sponsor or recruit somebody or create a customer in another country as it is in your home country, because all their technology connects the world, all of their 40 markets together. So why now is an important time is because this is about building your network, knowing that something big is coming and getting in front of the wave. Imagine placing a network of 50 Prysms, these new devices, and let's say every Prysm just had 10 subscriptions, 10 customers at $100 each. That is something that is very achievable. And that would generate at a minimum $2,500 a month of leverage income. Now, if you look at Nu Skin's compensation plan, it will most likely be significantly more than that, but we're giving you the worst case scenario. Now, if you were able to put 500 Prysms throughout your network and they each had 10 subscriptions, you're looking at a projected income of at least $25,000 a month. That would be with no inventory, no employees, no accounts receivable, being able to do this business anywhere in the 40 markets around the world, from anywhere that you want to be. We've been able to travel around the country. We don't have to be tied to an office. I've been able to enjoy working from home. And I think that today, the way that the world is connected, the way that technology allows us to talk to one another. I mean, think about it here. We're on a Zoom meeting, and there are people here from probably 10, 20 countries around the world. And I'm sitting at home talking to everybody, and you're probably sitting at home or sitting in a coffee shop or sitting on the beach or a hotel lobby, or maybe, hopefully you're not driving down the highway. But you think of how easy it is to connect with people. And now we have this technology, these Prysm devices that will be able to flood the market a lot easier with a lot less friction than we've ever had before. So the next steps here are to really get started today. Myself and other colleagues were able to position in front of the launch of the first scanner when there was a wait list of 6 to 12 months. And because we were patient, we were willing to grow the business with the tools that we had at the time. We've been able to create some of the biggest networks with the current biophotonic scanner. You guys have the opportunity today to be the next biggest leader within the company, knowing what is coming with Prysm, but also knowing what the biophotonic scanner has been able to do for the last 20 years. We did not have those insights when we started. We were trying to figure it out without having any clue how to do it. You guys already have a track record of success for 20 years. Now we've got a more scalable business model. And so all you have to do is set up an account with us, a brand affiliate account. It doesn't cost anything to do that. You can do that in a matter of minutes. And then what I would encourage you to do at a minimum is to start on a personal 90-day transformation to build your product experience. You are not going to be able to have success promoting something or selling something to other people until you've experienced and have sold it to yourself. Now, it doesn't mean you need to wait 90 days to talk to other people about the business, but you need to be on the journey and committed to being on the journey to invite other people to join this journey with you. And together, we'll be able to build a great business. There's a starter kit that we recommend doing with some of the most popular products. And this is a kit here. So it's $340 to start a global business that you can scale to as big as you want to. I mean, I invested a couple $100,000 in my education, and I gave all that up to invest in this business because the upside to me was much bigger, and I could make a bigger impact and have a lot more flexibility and quality of life. Yes, you're going to have to work hard to achieve whatever your goals are. If you've got big goals, you're going to have to work harder. If you've got small goals, you're going to have to stay focused. But this is a business vehicle that creates leverage, that has scientific integrity, and has a proven track record with incredible people within the company. Now's the time to position yourself in front of the wave, and we look forward to working with you. What I would recommend doing right now is get back to the person that invited you onto this webinar. Let them know that you're ready to get started. They'll help you place your first order to start on some product. We'd also recommend going on a subscription. So that first kit will be your first month to try some of the products. And then you'll go on a subscription to receive those products for the next couple months to go on your transformation. And we look forward to working with you.